Coach, first of all, thanks for having me here. It's a great facility. This thing is amazing. The first time I really looked around. I mean, I walked through it before, but it's pretty awesome.
It's an amazing facility. As nice an indoor facility as there is in the country, and you got 2 great grass practice fields and then 110,000 square foot Ken and Cindy Long operations facility. I want to thank them personally for what they've done for us and their generous gift to the operations facility.
So this summer, Coach, you guys are not with the players too much. I know Jeff Dillman is doing all that. What do you do? I mean, like, I don't mean it like that, but what does Coach Muschamp do this summer? I know you got kids in school, so that's a chance to spend time with the family.
No doubt. It's really our only time off, really throughout the entire year, from the season to recruiting. Then you go into the all-season program, then you got spring ball, then you got the camp season. So it's really our only time as coaches to decompress. I think it's good for us to get away. I think it's good for us to get away from the players, and the players want to get away from us.
Right.
They need to decompress too. So we take a little time, but this coming week we'll get cranked back up with the team.
Well, SEC Media Week is upon us here, and so I know you enjoy that, talking to guys like myself. Maybe not me, but a lot of the other media boys, right?
No, I enjoy talking to you.
But that's kind of crazy, though. I mean, how do you prepare yourself getting ready for Media Week?
Well, I think the more you do it, the more you're used to it, the more you're ready for some of the questions. The great thing is I'm going on the last day, so I can hear all the questions, because it's all the same questions.
Yeah.
And so you kind of prepare yourself for that. But I enjoyed it. Having worked at so many different schools in the Southeastern Conference, I've made a lot of friends in the media people and really enjoy seeing them.
Let's talk about your team. Of course, I was here Friday with Jeff Dillman, watching those guys run and work out. First of all, amazing shape. They look great. I saw Ken Law. I mean, I was joking on Twitter the other day about it, but when I saw him, that's a grown man. But your whole team now looks like an SEC football team.
Well, we're getting better. There's no doubt about that. I feel really good on both lines of scrimmage with the first group that we're going to put out there. But I think we've recruited well. And behind them, I think we have some really talented young players that haven't played any. And as you know, strolling out in front of 80,000 people is a little different deal. So we got to really catch those guys up in camp to be able to have the quality depth we're going to need to have on both lines of scrimmage. Obviously, having Jake back's exciting at quarterback and Debo Samuel back at receiver. I do think we have a very talented core of receivers, tight ends, and running backs, but the best thing we've got is competition in those areas. And as you know, when guys have to strain all the time, that promotes you to have a better football team because the consistency in your performance is going to be much better. Got to answer some questions at safety. Stephen Montac's the only guy that's a experienced guy that's played that position here at South Carolina. So we've got some question marks going into camp, but there's no doubt we're better than we've been.
Well, Coach, everybody has a lot of question marks, it seems like, going into the season. I mean, you know, whether it be Alabama or Georgia, which everybody seems to be picking, but there's a lot of question marks. A lot of guys haven't played.
Well, again, you feel like you got to rely on your recruiting process and the development process when you get a young man on campus. I feel really good about that. We've got really good staff that does an outstanding job, whether it's in the weight room or to a part of our coaching staff to get these guys ready to play. That's our job.
Right.
But I do think we've recruited well, and I think we've got some guys that certainly can contribute and help us.
Your offense, you talked about it, those receivers, I think it's the best core receivers in the SEC. We're talking about Ortre. I know I saw a picture the other day at Debo, and, you know, it had Shy, it had Brian Edwards, but I didn't see Ortre, who I like a lot, too, is a big time.
I didn't make that picture.
But one area is a tight end. You're missing Hayden Hurst, first-round pick. You had a first-round pick on your team last year. Casey Crosby, I know the guy, Jacob August, that maybe can step in. Will this be by committee filling that position?
Well, I think that we've got some guys with some different strengths. KC obviously had a very frustrating year last year with the injuries and different things that he went through, but he had a great spring, probably one of the better springs of any of our offensive players in the spring, and I'm excited about what he's going to give us to be able to play in the slot, also play in the core. Jacob's been a guy that's really transformed himself to really help us on the line of scrimmage, to be a dependable guy catching the ball. Keel Pollard's another guy that's come along and had a really good summer. He's changed his body. He's back to what we felt like he was going to be coming in here to South Carolina. And then Will Register getting Evan Henson back off the basketball court. And we need Kyle Markway to stay healthy. So we feel good about the combination of guys that we have there, that they all have different strengths that they can give our football team.
When you first got here, I remember the press conference, and you know, I always knew it was a great hire. But one thing you said, I got to hit the road recruiting. I got to get to work and put my boots on. You out. After that press conference. And in 2 years, you're 15-11, you won 6 the first year, went in a bowl game. Had a great chance to beat a good South Florida team that year. Came back last year, put 9 on the board, beat a good Michigan team in the bowl game, a come from behind win with a fill-in offensive coordinator in that ball game. You gotta like the trajectory, I think, of your program, because it's all about building. You know, everybody's calling it a process, or whatever word you want to use there. But you know, for us that cover you guys, I see it doing this at a high level.
Well, I think it's progress. Everybody wants to see progress. Your alumni, your fan base, your players, they need to see progress because they're putting in all this time. They've got to see some fruits of their labor, and they can see that with tangible wins. And that's a positive thing, but we still haven't accomplished anything. And the goal of this program every year is to win our state and to win the East, and we haven't done that.
And you're actually, you know, I've never been a big-time recruiting guy for reading all these websites, but I'm seeing South Carolina in the mix with a lot of big-time players. That's a great sign, and that's a telltale of what you're building here at the University of South Carolina.
Well, it goes back to investing in the student athlete. And the Ken and Cindy of football operations building is an investment into the student athlete. Coach Tanner talks about it all the time. And when a recruit and his parents come on our campus, they see the investment that we're making in the student athlete, and that's the most important thing.
Well, you speak of that building, and we're going to transition right here. We'll take a walk outside. No, we can't go in. Don't have the hard hats. I got a hard head, but not a hard hat. But I want to look at this thing. I mean, this is amazing from the outside. You got to have great facilities. One, we've been inside this place. It's an amazing indoor facility. You got the practice fields out there. But now you're doing this ops building, which is phenomenal. I cannot wait to see this thing finished. But you know, the donation came in. The name is on the building. The Long family. Gotta love that.
Well, there's no doubt, and I appreciate, again, as I said earlier, their generous donation, not just to our football program, not just to our athletic program, but to our entire university. And Ken obviously went to our pharmacy school. And he didn't finish first in his class, but he's doing pretty good. But this place is going to be amazing. Here we're looking right at 20,000 square foot of our weight room. It's a 2-story. It's a cardio up top, but open air for a training. We're going to have our training room, our dining facility, a nutrition area, all of the position meetings, and all the coach office. So you got a one-stop shop, and that's one of the things we've gotten beat up a little bit is we're a little fractured in our facilities. Well, they can't say that anymore. And this will be as nice a developmental situation for a student athlete to come to.
Well, yeah, because you got to cross the road, Buffalo, and all, but now everything is here. Weight room, your coach's office, everything will be right here. So locker rooms for getting ready for practice, all that.
Everything.
So it'll be 2 different locker rooms
Everything.
now. I mean, that's scheduled to be December finish?
December finish, definitely, and if not December, we'll be moving in January.
So when you talk about just having that now, when you bring in recruits, they get to see kind of the outside of the shell of what you're doing, and because you got all this other great stuff here, I'm pretty sure they're impressed by this.
No doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about investing in your student athlete, and when a young man and his parents come and see this, they see that we're committed to that. And I don't know, and you know better than I do, is from what we've done in the past. I don't know that we've always been totally focused on the investment that you've got to make to win championships, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, it starts this week, Coach. I mean, Thursday you guys are coming in. One of the last groups. I got to ask you, you know, a lot of people are saying, I'm reading all the magazines. I don't like to do this. I kind of know what you're going to say, but, you know, most people are saying, oh, 7-5. Well, I went out there bold. I said the Gamecocks are going to win the SEC East. That second game of the year. It's kind of that barometer game now against Georgia. But you got a lot of confidence, right? I mean, you know, you got to feel good about where you are in the early part of the season.
Well, I like the culture of our program right now, the work ethic of our football team. For the first time since in our time being here going into our 3rd season, we've got a lot of competition on our team, which is going to make our team better. And I told our guys when I first got here, I'm going to tolerate you till I can replace you. And I'm in a situation now where the guys know they've got to work, and that's going to help us be a better football team. The biggest thing we're focused on right now is really finishing the summer the right way, and we got to have a great training camp, because goals and aspirations of what you want to accomplish, whether it's individually or as a team, that's great. But if you don't understand what it takes to get there, it doesn't help you at all. And in order to have play the way you want to play, you got to have a great training camp. You know that. You got to prepare the right way, and I think our football team's going to understand that.
Well, I think they do, and I said I enjoyed you guys letting me kind of come behind the scenes and looking at these guys work and just the confidence they exuded, working out and running as Jeff was pushing them. I saw a different program, and now what you're doing here with these facilities is amazing. Gamecock Park, you know, do the Gamecock Walk, all this stuff is great. But Coach, I'm in with this one. Had a chance to interview your son, Jackson, the other day with Hammond, and about 6'1", quarterback, gonna be the starting quarterback for the Skyhawks. Tell you what, he got mom's looks. I mean, he had the nice hair going on. He walked in, and he was all together. But I could tell, like, oh, he knows the game. He's a coach's son because he was so serious. He was you from the heart perspective, but the looks from the mom perspective. But a good kid.
That's
man.
good for him.
Yeah, that's good for him. But thanks for your time, man.
I appreciate you.
Wish
man.
you well and see you Thursday down there in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Good stuff.